Hi, sixth graders. So we are going to be working on dividing in the next couple of lessons here over the next couple of days. But we kind of want to take a step back and just review some dividing basics. And I know that sounds silly, but when you are given a problem that is written out, and now this is going to be a daunting looking problem, but it's not going to be too bad. If you're given a problem that looks like this and it's written out in this format and not already in the bracket that you use to divide. So you have 1,118 divided by 43. Remember, we set it up with this bracket that we put one number on the outside and one number on the inside. And the way I remember it is it's flip-flopped. So this first number doesn't go outside. It's not reading left to right. It actually flip-flops. So kind of imagine a big X drawn in. So 43 is going to go on the outside, and 1,118 is going to go on the inside. Now, I am not going to put in the comma on the inside, just because we can add that in our answer. And it'll be one less thing to worry about when we're trying to figure out our place value here. So now that we have our problem set up, remember what we do is we look to see how many times this outside number can go into each of the places inside. Now I look and I know that this is 43. Okay? So I look to see how many times 43 can go into 1. I know I can't do that. And instead of writing a 0 up here, multiplying, subtracting, if you get 0 for the first one, you can just skip to the next place value here. So now I'm looking at 43. How many times 43 can go into 11? And I know I still can't even do that. 43 cannot go into 11 evenly because it's greater than 11. So I'm going to skip to the next one, 111. So 43 can go into 111, and I know probably only twice because I know this is roughly around 40. 40 plus 40 is 80, and I know I cannot put another 40 in there, otherwise that would be 120. So because it can go in there twice, 43 plus 43 gives me 86. I can put my 2 above my last digit that I'm working with here, that I'm trying to figure out how many times it can go in. So my 2 is going to go above here. Then I start multiplying. 2 times 43 gives me 86, and I line that up. I subtract, and I'm going to have to borrow. Can't do that. I'm going to borrow like that. So this becomes 11 minus 6 is 5. 10 minus 8 is 2. And now because I borrowed over here first, I don't have anything left over here. So I have 25 left over. Well, now I have to bring down my 8. So now I'm doing 43 into 258. And I know that 2 of them equals 86. So I can think about if 2 43s equal 86, how many 43s, or how many would 4 43s equal? So I can do 86 plus 86 and see what I get for that. 6 plus 6 is 12. 8 plus 8 is 16, 17. Still not quite 258. Now you kind of have to make a decision. Do you think, or do I think I can put another 2 groups of 43 in, or should I just try 2 for now? I think I may be able to put another 2 groups in. So now I'm up to 4. 2 here, 86. So I'm up to 4. So 172, which is 4 groups of 43, plus 86, which is another 2 groups. 2 plus 6 is 8. 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 1 is 2, and look at that. I get it exactly. So now I know that 172 is equal to 4 groups of 43, and 86 is equal to 2 groups of 43. So now I'm going to add 4 plus 2, and that's going to give me 6. So I know my answer up here is going to be 6. 6 times 43, we could solve that over here, down here, sorry, just to double check. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25, and we get 258 exactly. So I know I get 258, and once we hit 0 at the bottom, we are done solving. So now my answer would be 26. Okay, I'm going to give you another problem here that we're going to solve together, and just watch me, or if you want to solve it in a notebook of yours or your math book somewhere, you're more than welcome to do that. But unfortunately, our math book does not do just regular dividing like this. It starts with decimals. So we're kind of going out of the book right now. And in the past, you probably can remember doing these problems and getting remainders as part of your answers. Yes, in the real world, you probably will have remainders somewhere when you're dividing things out. However, for this case, because we're just backtracking and then we're moving on to decimals, we have noticed in the past that working with remainders and then transitioning to decimals really gets confusing because they are not the same thing. So in this lesson and throughout the rest of the decimals unit, we will not be working with problems that have remainders in them. I will only give you regular dividing problems such as these that equal a whole number. Once we get into decimals, your answers will then have decimals on there. But for right now, they are only going to be whole numbers. Okay, let's try one more. So again, remember if they're written out, let's try this problem here. 1,380 divided by 92. Remember, think about your x. So my first number is going to go on the inside. My second number is going to go on the outside. So let's move my paper up for you here. And we will start dividing. So I have 92 into 1380. My decimal point is technically right there. So I'm just going to put it there just so that I know my whole number is what it is. Okay, so I'm looking at 92. 92 I know cannot go into 1. I know it can't go into 13, but it can go into 138, and most likely only once. So 1 times 92 gives me 92. I then subtract, and I will have to borrow on this one here. 8 minus 2 is 6. 3 minus 9, can't do. Let's borrow from over here. We now get 13 minus 9, which gives me 4. So I'm left with 46. But now 92 cannot go into there because that's what's left over. So I have to bring down this second number or this other number that's left up here, the next one. Now 92 into 460. Let's see, roughly 90. If you were to round this, this would be to 90. So I'm assuming it's probably going to go into it about 4 times because I know 9 times 4 is 36. And I know 36 is pretty close to 46. But let's just try. So 92 plus 92, if we just try 2 to see how it goes. 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 plus 9 is 18. Well, I know it's going to be greater than 2 groups of 92 going into 460 because that only equals 184. So that's 192, 2 92s. Let's add another 92 to it and see what we get. So here's another one. And my little numbers over here are telling me how many times my 92 is going into this, just so that I can keep a running count. Because sometimes when you start adding these numbers on the side here, they tend to get a little confusing. All right, how many times have I added this already? So that's what these little numbers on the side are for me. Okay, so now let's add this. 4 plus 2 is 6. 8 plus 9 is 17. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I'm at 276. So I can probably add at least one more, but let's try 2 more. Let's just try it. So now my little number is going to be a 2 because I know that 184 is equal. 184 is equal to 2. Groups of 92. All right, so let's try. 6 plus 4 is 10. 7 plus 8 is 15. Plus 1 is 16. Looking good so far. 2 plus 1 is 1. Plus 1 is, or 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. So I know it can go into 461, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times 92, up a little so you can see, becomes 460. Once we hit 0 at the bottom, we are done. So my answer would be 15. Okay, we're going to try one more problem here, and then I will let you know what your homework is. So this problem Let's do a little bit easier one. We were working with 1,000 numbers earlier. Let's do 100 one. 798 divided by 19. Sounds like goofy numbers, but it's going to end up being a whole number. So remember our little x. 798 goes on the inside, 19 goes on the inside, or outside. 19 into 798. Okay, so I'm working with 19. Put my decimal up here just because I know it's going to be a whole number there. 19 cannot go into 7. I know that. 19 can go into 79 though. And I'm going to try to do 3 times. Now that is me kind of doing quick estimating or mental math because I know this is pretty close to 20 and I know this is pretty close to 80. So if I do 20 goes into 80, we might actually be able to do 4 times because 20 times 4 would be 80. So let's try 4. 4 times 19, 19 times 4 would be 36. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 76. Okay, so now that I know that 19 times 4 is 76, I can subtract and I get 3 left over. Bring down my 8. 19 goes into 38 exactly 2 times, and I need to make sure I'm putting this digit above the last digit that I'm working with down below. 2 times 19 gives me 38. I subtract. I'm left with 0 at the bottom, and my answer would be 42. Now, you were given a packet that looks like this. The first page in there says divide multi-digit numbers. This page is going to be your homework. So it says find each quotient, and you'll notice that the first problem says 495 divided by 11. Make sure that you're grabbing that sheet that looks like this, but it's the first page in the packet that you were just given. So you're going to do these 4 problems up here, and then you also have 2 word problems at the bottom. Now, I will go through my page here and just kind of tell you how I'm going to be grading this. So each of these problems up here is going to be worth 2 points. 2 points each. And I'm not sure if you want to write on yours what I'm writing down on here, but you're going to have 1 point for your answer, and then it's correct. And then you're going to have 1 point for showing work. Same thing with this, this, and this. So each of these 4 is going to be worth 2 points. So this whole section up here will be worth 8 points. Now, once you get down to the word problems at the bottom, you are going to have 3 points for each. It's going to be the same above. 1 for your answer, 1 for showing your work, and then just because it's a word problem, we have 1 point for your label attached to your answer up there. So each one of these will be worth 3 points. So we have a total of 6 points down here, 8 points up here. This worksheet alone will be worth 14 points. Okay? When you are in your next in-person day, because I'm assuming we probably won't get to this in class. And if you do, you're more than welcome to turn it in early. But if you don't get to this, you will be turning this in on your next in-person day. So when we do that, we will make sure to just rip this off and turn it in. We're going to turn them in individually, each page in this packet. We're not going to turn the whole packet in at once. Okay? Please email me if you have any questions. And then if you would like extra practice or more work, just let me know and I can get that for you.